So today I am going to start with the third chapter, that is measures of central tendency. Okay. So in the last video we have completed our second chapter, and in that last sum was pending that I will be explaining you when I will be explaining the sums of third chapter. Right? Only one sum is left in second chapter. That if possible, try it. It is easy sum. So try it, and if any doubt, please ask me. And if any doubts, then I will be clearing that in the other videos. Okay, so today we'll be starting with our third chapter, that is measures of central tendency. And one more thing I want to tell you, see now every month exams are going on, right? So you people are preparing or not, that I don't know, but you have to prepare. Don't you ever try to copy the sums, the answers from your digest or notebook or anywhere, right? Please learn. सारे कुछ नहीं लर्न करने, थोड़ा कुछ लर्न करना. Okay, little bit of so you can learn na? So prepare yourself properly and please try to write your exams without copying, without cheating, right? And this month 2 or 3 subjects are there, and most probably in the next month states exams will be there. So for that we will be preparing first, second and third chapter. Okay, right? So those who have completed, those who that first and second chapter, those who have written everything in the notebook, please do practice daily. You have to do 2 to 3, 5 minimum, 3 to 5 sums daily. You have to do. Of second, first chapter is fully of theory only. So second chapter you have to do full practice, proper practice you have to do, right? That questions are not, we are not preparing the questions, that questions are coming from the board itself. So prepare yourself clearly, and first chapter fully you have to prepare, right? That I have given some important questions, that is for our school exams only, but you have to prepare, but each and every answer you have to prepare of first chapter, and I have explained the full chapter na? So you have to prepare all the answers of the from the exercise itself. Okay, so now, and as I told you, please continue your practice. Next month might be your states exam, right? So first, second and third chapter you should be thoroughly knowing this all chapters. If any doubts, you'll clear your doubts, queries, everything. Okay, so now the third chapter is measures of central tendency. So in this chapter what we are going to learn, first meaning, then characteristics of a good measure of central tendency, that I will explain what is central tendency. Then meaning of mean, advantages and disadvantages of mean, right? Combined mean and weighted mean. Then is the topic coming geometric mean, meaning for geometric means, meaning, advantages and disadvantages. Then our next topic is measures of positional average. Positional average, this is one important topic, that is median, quartile, decile and percentile, right? This is one important topic. uh, then measures of positional average, meaning, advantages and disadvantages. Then coming the next topic, mode. This is one easier topic, right? Mean, median and mean, median, quartile, decile, percentile and mode, right? Mean एक topic हो जाता है, फिर measure of settle positional averages हो जाता है, then coming the mode में meaning, advantages, disadvantages और इसका graphical method, then comparative study of mean, median and mode, right? So three main topics are there: mean, median and mode. In mean we are going to learn combined mean, weighted mean and geometric mean, and in median we are going to learn, that is the measures of positional average. In that we are going to learn median, quartiles, deciles and percentiles. And then is the mode, that is I told you, that is the easier one in this chapter. Okay, now let's see the meaning of measures of central tendency. The large volume of statistical data can be organized by classification and tabulation. This shows certain characteristics of the given data. The diagrams and graphs drawn for the data show its trends and patterns. It helps in visual interpretation and comparison of the data. we need more concise and numerical presentation of the data for further statistical analysis. Let us understand with an illustration. Concise presentation means a short presentation of the data we need. Okay, then see one illustration they have given. Suppose a person is planning his monthly budget, right? Monthly expense if he is planning. The expenses on every commodity is a variable which changes according to the quantity consumed at the market price, right? Variable means जो हम लोग monthly use करते हैं, जैसे टी हो गया, कॉफी हो गया, राइस, ऐसे सब ऑयल, ये सब हमारे वेरिएबल्स है. वॉट एवर वी आर यूजिंग, दिस आर द categories what on what we are going to give the data, right? So and this is going to change according to the quantity consumed and the market price. Agar market price zyada hoga, then we will be using a less quantity of that product, right? Suppose he wants to decide the amount to be spared for milk. He has the value of milk expenses of past month, right? हम लोग कैसे बजट बनाते हैं? मंथली बजट घर के एक्सपेंसेस का. लास्ट मंथ में कितना एक्सपेंस हुआ है मिल्क में? 5000. तो वी विल टेक अ सम होलसम अमाउंट ऑफ 5000 ओनली, राइट? उससे ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, उससे कम भी हो सकता है, बट एक पिक्चर रहेगा हमारे पास कि वी हैव टू स्पेंड 5000 ऑन मिल्क, 5000 ऑन वेजिटेबल्स, 3000 ऑन फ्रूट्स. ऐसा एक हमारे पास एक assumption रहता है that is based on our last month expense. Okay, so he has the value of milk expenses of past 10 months. He wants a representative value from this data to provide for this expenses of milk in his budget. A representative value of more than one set of data can be used for their comparison and further for taking future decision. We will illustrate this by the following situation. Suppose a company wants to compare the sale of two products produced by it. The sale vary from day to day. The company has data about sale of last 50 days. The pattern displayed by the sale of the two products can be compared from the frequency distribution obtained from this data. But the company needs some exact measure to describe the data of sales of their two products for further conclusion and comparison. In most of the graph drawn for various frequency distribution, one can observe a common pattern that the value of the variable are concentrated around a certain central value, right? Concentrated on around a certain central value means हम लोग अभी जैसे मैंने क्या कहा था कि लास्ट मंथ में कितना एक्सपेंस हुआ, लास्ट मंथ how much amount we have spent on the vegetables, spent on the milk, spent on other expenses like groceries. So based on that only we will be deciding what will be the expenses of our next month, right? अगर 5000 है suppose vegetables का expense एक month में, वो एक हमारा सेंट्रल वैल्यू हो जाता है. सेंट्रल वैल्यू मीन्स ऑन विच वैल्यू वी आर गोइंग टू फोकस ऑन, राइट? हमने उसको बेस लिया है. 5000 से ज्यादा भी हो सकता है, कम भी हो सकता है. फ्रॉम वेयर दैट 5000 केम, दैट 5000 इज द एक्सपेंसेस ऑफ अवर लास्ट मंथ. Like that only, if a company is producing any product, then if he want to make the expenses or the profit earned or the sale of the product, he will go for the last few days sale, right? 1 month or 2 months or like that he will go for the how much sale they have made, how much expenses on the products they have made. That all he will be getting a rough figure from the previous expenses or the previous production, whatever they will be getting the idea. उसको बोलते हैं हम लोग सेंट्रल वैल्यू. सेंट्रल वैल्यू मतलब हम किस वैल्यू पे फोकस करके हम आगे का एजम्पशन कर रहे हैं, दैट इज अवर सेंट्रल वैल्यू, right? This characteristics of data is called a central tendency, and the central value around which the values of the variables are concentrated is called a measures of central tendency, right? Measures of central tendency or an average value, right? That's why I'm focusing on the that word central value, right? Central value समझ में आ गया होगा तो तुम्हें समझ में आएगा what is central tendency and the measures of central tendency, right? So what they are saying, I will repeat it again. In most of the graphs drawn for various frequency distributions, one can observe a common pattern that the value of the variable are concentrated around a certain value, right? Certain value. This characteristics of data is called a central tendency. this characteristics of data is called a central tendency. The data what is on what we are concentrating, which is our central value, that is called a central tendency. And the central value around which the value of the variable are concentrated is called the measures of central tendency of the or average value. मीन्स जो वैल्यू के वैल्यू हम एज्यूम करते हैं दैट इज कॉल्ड अवर सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी एंड द variables on which this is based is called a central measures of a central tendency, right? Because of what our data are changing, or because of what we are creating a data, we are making a data. तो हमारा वेरिएबल क्या होगा कि हमारे उसके सामने हम लोग डेटा रखेंगे. वेरिएबल्स तो कुछ होना चाहिए, जैसे आई टोल्ड यू अबाउट मिल्क, अबाउट ऑयल, अबाउट ग्रोसरीज, राइट? So this is all are called the measures of central tendency. Average value thus can be taken as a representative for the whole set of data. It is used for the further analysis, interpretation and comparison. Now, thus an average value presents the data in a concise form. Concise form means in a short form. Then shows special characteristics of the data. Special characteristics means उसके क्या benefits है, advantages है, वो हमें बताते हैं. Helps in comparison between two or more sets of data, right? हम लोग compare करते हैं एक से ज्यादा, मतलब अगर मैंने कहा था monthly expense, or here they have given one example of a company producing 2 products. So we are comparing the sale of both the products. We are comparing the expense of both the products. So this way we are getting a comparison. Helps in comparison between 2 or more data. Okay. Now next is different measures of central tendency can be obtained for the collected data. The choice of average depends upon the type of data, the purpose of average value and its further application. See, now here is the characteristics of good measure of central tendency. An average with following characteristics can be called an ideal average. First is characteristics में first point is it should be well defined and rigid, right? It is fixed. It should be fixed, well defined and fixed. It should be easy to understand and calculate the data, the things, whatever we are taking, the variables or the data, whatever we are taking, it should be very much understandable and we can calculate it easily. It should be based on all the observations of the data. It should be suitable for further algebraic operations. It should be stable measure, and it means that value of average found for different samples of size from the sample population should be almost same. Then 6, it should not be unduly affected by a very few large or very small observation. We will discuss the following measures of central tendency which are widely used in data analysis. Means the data, the number should not be in a bigger digit. Suppose अगर 1 lakh है तो हम 1 2 3 4 लेंगे, and in bracket we will be mentioned that is that the value of x is in terms of in lakh rupees, right? ऐसा होगा, short digits में होने चाहिए, तो ही that will be easy for us to calculate for it is said that for further algebraic expression, right? Now the discuss the measures of central tendency. Different measures of central tendency: mean, median and other positional averages and mode. Mean, median, mode और other positional averages में क्या आएगा? Quartile, decile and percentile, right? Now we'll see next topic, that is arithmetic mean or mean. Mean आप लोग ने पढ़ा है, right? I think in 9th or 10th standard you have learned about mean. What is mean? Mean means x bar, है ना? X bar को हम mean बोलते हैं. So x bar, what is the formula of x bar? That is sigma xi upon n. That is the formula of x bar, mean, है ना? So arithmetic mean or a mean. So this is one of the most commonly used average. This is called an average method also, right? See here in textbooks they are anywhere they will be saying that this method is called alternate name of any method. So you have to keep in mind what is the alternate name of a particular method, because that will be helpful in your MCQ, right? So So in 12th standard, in MCQs, they are asking the twisted questions. So like this twist you will be finding, because you should be aware of all the concept of a particular method in a textbook, whatever. So that's why we are saying that you have to learn the textbook of any subject. You have to learn the textbook properly, thoroughly. राइट सब कुछ समझ में आना चाहिए, उसमें क्या क्या है, अंडरलाइन करो, लर्न करो, छोटी छोटी चीजें जिसमें हम मिस्टेक्स करते हैं. We never make mistakes in 5 mark questions or a 3 mark questions, because we exactly know what is going to come in 5 mark and what is going to come in 3 mark, right? So we never make mistakes in that, but we are making mistakes, or the children, most of the children are making, where they are making mistakes in 1 mark and 2 marks, right? Section A is 1 mark, section B is also 1 mark, and section C is 3 marks. This A, B, C section, most of the students are making mistakes in 12th board exams also. Right. In 11th standard, so you will be knowing that what is going to come, because we are only teaching you and we are only making the paper. So you are aware of what is going to ask, because anyhow we will be explaining revision time. I will most of the teachers are giving the important questions or like this, and you will be aware of somewhat you will be aware of what is going to come in the exam. Those students who are attentive in class, right? जो ध्यान देते हैं सिर्फ उसके लिए, right? So in board exams, the paper are coming from the board and you don't have any idea in what type of questions they are going to ask. So that's why we are saying that you have to learn the full textbook thoroughly, right? So here what is the why I told you all these things, because see, here the arithmetic mean or the mean they have said, and they have given in the next line that they are the average method. Different average methods are there, so that is an average method. So now meaning is arithmetic mean ka meaning. Meaning arithmetic mean is defined as the value obtained by sum of all the observation divided by the total number of observation. वही है arithmetic mean, right? X bar mean is called arithmetic mean only. The arithmetic mean of a variable x is denoted by x bar. Either you can call it mean or an arithmetic mean or an average method. Okay. Now how you will be doing a calculation of that mean, calculation of mean. See, I told you two things. In statistics, you should be aware of 2-3 things. That is data. तो हमें पता ही है क्या होता है data, right? At grouped and ungrouped data, that is the most important thing that you are going to see in this chapter. Grouped and ungrouped data. So group data means what is it? Group data means along with xi, if you are having fi frequencies, that it is called a group data. And how we are getting the frequency, that we have learned in second chapter. We have to find the class, or we have to form in a discrete way. Then you have to do a tally mark. Then based on the tally mark, you are getting the frequency. Then this way you are arranging a row data. है ना, row data दिया होगा, उसको हम grouped में कैसे करते हैं? पहले उसको एक class बनाते हैं, या we will be form a variable. Then we will form a tally mark. Then with the help of tally mark, we are finding a frequency. In this way, you are making ungrouped or a row data into a grouped way. Right. So here the each and every formula is revolving around grouped and ungrouped data. So you should know what is grouped data and what is ungrouped data. What is row data and what is data, at least you should know. Okay. So now calculation of mean for row or ungrouped data. First we will be doing showing the formula of mean for row or ungrouped data, right? Row data पता है, जो ऐसे सारे numbers देते हैं वो, और ungrouped, both are same. Okay. So now the formula is x bar equal to sigma xi upon n. And what is xi? Xi means the sum total of all the observation. Sum of all the observation divided by number of observation. Observation किसको बोलते हैं? जो xi में होता है. Okay. That is, this all things I will be explaining in one example only. Let us first see this theory. Now see, here what they have given, one illustration they have given. See, the following data show the number of scooters repaired daily at a garage. Find the mean number of scooters repaired per day. Okay. So here some numbers are given. See, 7, 13, 4, 8, 6, 9, 10 and 4. So what you have to find? You have to find a mean. What is the formula? First you have to write what is n. N is number of the observation. So these numbers are called the observations. See, this is given in the question. These numbers are given in the question, and this is our observation. Observation, right? Observation short में लिखा obvious. And ये कितने numbers है? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6, 7, and 8. Right? So our n comes to 8. And what is the formula of x bar? Sigma xi upon n. So you can write xi or x, कुछ भी चलेगा. अब कई स्टूडेंट्स पूछेंगे मिस xi लिखना था क्या x लिखना? See, xi or xi, anything you can write. Now what is sigma x? Sigma x means sum of all the observation. Sum means total, है ना? Sum का मतलब होता है total of all the observation. यहाँ पे x1, x2, x3 दिया है, that is means this इसको x1 नाम दिया है 7 को, इसको x2 नाम दिया है, इसको x3, ये x4, ये x5, x6, x7, x8, like this, right? So here you have to simply instead of this you can write sum of all the observation divided by number of observation. तो sum क्या होगा? 7 plus sum मतलब total करना है ये observation का. 7 plus 13 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6 plus 9 plus 10 plus 4. So this is your sum of all the observation, addition of all the observation. Observation means the numbers what is given in the question and divided by number of observation, that is 8. अभी इसको हम ऐड करेंगे तो हमको क्या मिला? 61 divided by 8, that is 7.625. And always remember one thing, your answer, if you are getting any digit, any number, any calculation in after decimal, if you are getting after decimal you are getting to 3 numbers, then you have to write only 2 digits, right? After decimal 2 digits you have to write. And see here they have see, third digit हम क्यों use करते हैं? Second digit को round up करने के लिए. If the third digit is 5 or more than 5, then the second digit will be plus 1, right? तो यहाँ पे 63 हो गया ना. Like अगर ये 7.621 होता तो इसको हम क्या लिखते हैं? यहाँ पे पॉइंट है तो हम क्या लिखते हैं? 7.62 because 1 is less than 5, right? अगर ये हम लोग लिखते 4.727, now third digit is greater than 5, so what will be we are writing 7 point, here point is there 4.73, right? समझ में आया? समझ में आया ना? तो अगर क्वेश्चन में होता 6, 3.1, 2 and 5, so what you will be writing? 3.13, है ना? So that only I am saying always write after decimal 2 digits you have to write. Third digit हमें देखना है second digit को round up करने के लिए, right? Third digit तक हमें ये लिखना नहीं होता है. Third digit ये automatically इसमें involve हो जाता है. Okay, so that is 4.727 will be 4.73. 3.125 will be 3.13. 7.261 will be 7.621 will be 7.62, right? So this is the way how you have to write after decimal 2 digits, how you have to write that I have explained. Now see, let's rub this. So this is the answer of your illustration number 1. So what is the formula of mean ungrouped data? Mean है ungrouped data, right? तो उसका क्या formula है? Sigma x bar equal to sigma xi upon n, and sigma xi means sum of all the observation upon number of observation, and sigma xi का मतलब क्या होता है? सिग्मा का मतलब क्या होता है? टोटल. Sigma means total, right? Sigma means total and xi means observation. सम बोलो, टोटल बोलो, कुछ भी बोल सकते हो तो आप लोग इसको, और टोटल और सम, सम ऑफ ऑल द ऑब्जर्वेशन और टोटल ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन अपॉन नंबर ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन, ऐसा भी लिख सकते हैं। सिग्मा का मतलब आप लोग को पता होना चाहिए, व्हाट इज सिग्मा? सिग्मा मीन्स टोटल। ओके, now we will see the next sum, that is next illustration, that is and in the last you have to write the statement. You always end your answer in a statement. Thus the mean number of scooters repaired per day at the garage is 7.63 scooters. Now next is our shortcut method. See, this all I will be explaining in a that in board I will be explaining. But wait 1 minute, I will be showing you all the see after, before writing a chapter, before starting the chapter, you have to write the this one, what we say, definitions you have to write, and formula you have to write. I will see, this is the list of formula. So here they have, first you have to write this. Okay, before starting the sums you have to write this. Definitions लिखने हैं, जो definitions मैंने explain किए हैं, और उसके बाद formula, उसके बाद ही हम illustration start करेंगे. Mean दिया है, what is mean? Formula is row data or ungrouped data x bar equal to sigma xi upon n, and group data x bar equal to sigma fi xi upon n. Grouped में fi होता है ना, तो formula में भी fi involved include करना है, fi xi upon n. एंड शॉर्टकट मेथड, शॉर्टकट में हमेशा a प्लस होता है, x बार इक्वल टू a प्लस सिग्मा डी आई अपॉन एन, और इन ग्रुप डेटा a प्लस एफ आई डी, a प्लस सिग्मा एफ आई डी आई अपॉन एन इंटू सी. देन नेक्स्ट इज कंबाइंड मीन, तो x इक्वल टू n1 x बार 1 प्लस n2 x बार 2, दैट कंटिन्यूएशन में जाएगा जितना होगा अपॉन n1 n2 एंड डॉट डॉट. देन वेटेड मीन इज x बार W. देखो मीन जब भी आता है तो x बार तो होता ही है, और कंबाइंड होगा तो छोटा सा c आएगा, वेटेड होगा तो छोटा सा w आएगा. तो w1 x1 प्लस w2 x2 डॉट डॉट अपॉन w1 प्लस w2, और अनदर फॉर्मूला है सिग्मा wx अपॉन सिग्मा w. देन नेक्स्ट इज ज्योमेट्रिक मीन, इधर g ही आएगा, x बार g नहीं आएगा, सिर्फ g, एंड दैट इज अंडर रूट nth root x1 into x2 into like this it's good. Now the median and other positional averages, so that is median में देखो m, formula of m is n upon n plus 1 upon 2th observation, and quartile में q होगा n plus 1 upon 4th observation, decile में d होगा n plus 1 upon 10th observation, and percentile में n plus 1 upon 100th observation, that is p. एंड मीडियन मीन्स मिड वैल्यू, तो उसके लिए हम डिवाइडेड बाय 2 करते हैं. ये नीचे के जो नंबर्स है ये आप लोगों को याद रखना है, राइट. इसमें आपको कंफ्यूजन नहीं होना चाहिए. ये मीडियन में नीचे अपॉन में 2 आएगा, बाकी ये जो ऊपर के जो नंबर्स है ये दैट इज सेम इन ऑल द फॉर्मूलाज. मीन, मीडियन, क्वार्टाइल, डिसाइल एंड परसेंटाइल, ये चारों में न्यूमरेटर विल बी द सेम, बट द चेंजेस यू कैन सी इन द डिनोमिनेटर. दैट मीडियन होगा तो 2, क्वार्टाइल मीन्स 4, डिसाइल मीन्स 10, एंड परसेंटाइल, परसेंटेज 100 होता है ना, और मीडियन होगा तो डिवाइडेड बाय 2. एंड क्वार्टाइल, क्वार्टाइल मीन्स क्वार्टर, क्वार्टर को हम बोलते हैं तो 1/4 होता है ना, तो डिवाइडेड बाय 4. और परसेंटाइल, ये तीन चीज तो याद रहेगा. फिर डिसाइल का डी है तो 10 ही होगा, राइट. ऐसे याद रखना. मीडियन मीन्स मिड वैल्यू, मिड वैल्यू मीन्स हाफ हो जाता है तो डिवाइडेड बाय 2. क्वार्टाइल मीन्स क्वार्टर 1/4 तो डिवाइडेड बाय 4. and percentile means always we are finding the percentage by 100, so divided by 100, then decile is upon 10, right. और इसके लॉन्ग फार्मूले, अगर वो ग्रुप्ड में होगा, कंटिन्यूस में होगा, तो अगर क्लास होगा तो उसका फार्मूला होगा m इक्वल टू l प्लस n अपॉन 2 माइनस e f i अपॉन f i इंटू c, एंड q इज l प्लस n अपॉन 4, राइट. जैसे मैंने कहा था ना वैसे, अपॉन 4 माइनस e f i अपॉन f i इंटू c, एंड d L plus n upon 10 minus EFI upon FI into C, and P equal to L plus n upon 100 minus EFI upon FI into C. Okay, so these are the few examples, formulas. नाउ नेक्स्ट फॉर्मूला इज मोड. रो डेटा है, मोड कैसे फाइंड होगा? वैल्यू ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन विच गेट्स repeated maximum number of times. See, just now you have to only simply listen what I am saying. Na? When I will be starting with the sum, you will be knowing what is exactly which formula, where you have to put which formula you have to use. States में main problem formula का ही होता है, तो अच्छे से by heart कर लो सारे formula. Then discrete frequency distribution, MO is equal to value of observation with maximum frequency. Then MO is equal to, if it is continuous frequency distribution, L plus Fm minus F1 upon 2 Fm minus F1 minus F2 into C. And other one more formula is that is empirical formula, that is MO equal to 3m minus 2x bar. So children, this is very interesting and very much you will not feeling like bored doing like this type of stuff, right? बहुत interesting है ये chapter. अगर एक बार आप लोग के दिमाग में कंसेप्ट बैठ गया ना, तो ये चैप्टर फुल बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है, बहुत मजा आएगा करने में. सेकंड चैप्टर जैसा नहीं है, फर्स्ट चैप्टर तो फिर पूछना ही नहीं है, बहुत ही कमाल है वो तो, थियरी 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 हो रही है ना. सेकंड चैप्टर जैसा नहीं है, सेकंड चैप्टर भी इंटरेस्टिंग है, बट ये और अच्छा कैलकुलेशन बहुत है, और बहुत सभी स्टूडेंट्स को थर्ड चैप्टर में बड़ा मजा आता है. ओके, so concentrate whatever I am saying, and today I have given few definitions, right? वो सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी और उसका जो डेफिनेशन है वो दिया है. Then formulas I have explained, and one topic, that is mean, I have explained, that is mean of ungrouped data, raw data और ungrouped data मैंने explain किया है सिर्फ एक illustration, right? So इतना आप लोगों को complete करना है. First you have to write the definitions, जो आपको definition उसमें दिख रहा है starting में introduction में, that you have to write, formula you have to write, and one illustration you have to write. Okay, so this is enough for today. We'll see in the next video. Okay, thank you so much for today.